being someone that has spent 30 years of my professional career in the tech industry, I've always been so impressed with technology, and I've always seen technology as a way to improve humankind. And although the companies that I've worked at, and they've been great companies, it's always been sort of a focus on solving business problems and also driving shareholder value. And most of the technologies that I've been involved in, it's always been at the expense of the employees when we look at productivity and people get laid off. But now with artificial intelligence, which is about providing the algorithms that replace a lot of the cognitive jobs that are currently being done by humans, it became very clear to me that this is a very compelling, this is the diversity issue of our time right now. And the reason why I say that is when you look at 250 or whether it's 400 million jobs that are going to be replaced by 2030 and 2035, I hear some of those numbers. What that means is people are going to be losing their jobs. 44% of professional jobs are going to go away. So this isn't just the truck drivers or the factories who got hit first. It's going to be professional jobs. That's a diversity issue. So the diversity is now you have AI and you have humans. And I think Noah Harari really summed it up well in his book called Homo Deus, where he talks about the useless society. So we can become so efficient that we don't need humans to do majority of the jobs anymore. So then the question comes, what happens to us humans? And so we are seeing some inklings of that, and that's why you're hearing things about universal basic income and some of those things, because we're moving to a point where humanity, if we don't have to use our cognitive abilities as much anymore because they can be replaced by algorithms to perform the task, then that's going to change the whole way that we operate as human beings. And we still don't know what that's like. I'm excited about it because it means that we're going to move to a more creative level. And it means that we're going to have to figure out how to deal with each other in ways that we haven't before. And it means that we're going to have a whole new level of functionality, a whole new level of understanding, a whole new level of what it means to be human. And we're already seeing some of that, right? Where in genetic coding, where you can use a technology and AI to figure out how you want to do a genetic code or create different genetic animals or plants. And so this opens up a really fascinating opportunity. But if we don't define the sort of parameters and what that means to be human, then what is that going to do if we just let that just happen without being thoughtful about it? Well, it threatens the whole way of what we thought being human is about. I mean, take the example right now of sexuality. And not that I want to get in that big controversy, but it's hard to know, is it a male, is it a female? And you can get in the arguments now. Things aren't as clear. And they're only going to get more fuzzier with that. So that's a huge issue. And as we are dealing with what I call the 20th century sort of issues where we failed on the identity parts, it's going to get even more prolific and more confusing and more challenging if we don't pull together to understand what is a common humanity? What does that look like? How do we want to use bioconversion in terms of having technology inside of us and whether we have a chip in us that allows us to have access to a search engine inside our brain and having it connected that way? What does that mean? Right? Or if I can create a superhuman being, what sort of strata is that going to have? Who can afford that? Who's going to have access to that? So these are all of the questions and challenges that we're going to have. So when we say AI, that's what we're looking at because it needs to start now. And these technologies are rolling out faster than what people are paying attention to, faster than what the legal system can comprehend, faster than what the political system can comprehend. So our focus is to make sure if we can do this at an organizational level and help business leaders understand that when you look at AI, just don't look at it as a way to replace human beings, but maybe look at it as how you can augment your current employees that you have in your organization to rise us to a whole new level.